Good morning, everybody. We are from Devi Mahalakshmi Polytechnic, Ritwada, Department of Computer Engineering and Information Technology. Semester 5th, subject Software Testing, subject code 22518. Myself, Miss Anita Shirture. Now, I am going to tell about the remaining topic of test management of chapter 3. This chapter 3 is given for 14 marks. In previous video, we learn about the test management, test planning, and now we will discuss about the remaining part. Learning outcome of this video: to understand basic concept of test planning, to prepare scope management, and identifying responsibility. There are many topics in test management, so we will discuss only 3 topics in this video. Okay? Then let's preparing a test plan. In previous video, we learn about what is the test planning. Now, then how to prepare a test plan. Then test plan is driven with the business goals or objectives of the software product. Testing, like any project, should be driven by a plan. The test plan acts as the anchor for the execution, tracking, and reporting of the entire testing project and covers what needs to be tested, the scope of testing, including clear identifications of what will be tested and what will not be tested, how the testing is going to be performed, breaking down the testing into a small and manageable tasks and identifying the strategies to be used for carrying out the tasks. What resources are needed for testing? Computer as well as human resources. When each test occurs, schedule in terms of calendar days. The timelines by which the testing activities will be performed. Risks that may be of phases in all of the above. Next is the scope management. Before we study scope management, we should know the meaning of a scope. Then, the scope describes as the activities included and excluded from the quality assurance or quality control activities. The test planning activities also determines the scope of testing. So, metrics to answer how much of it is to be tested is required. Next is test scope includes the following: the functional or structure requirement, infrastructure components, application and documentation, and system interfaces. The scope of the test include what items, features, procedures, functions, objects, cluster, and subsystems will be tested. Scope management pertains to specifying the scope of a software project. Then, now we will discuss in briefly the scope of the includes the following. Then, first is the functional or structural requirements. As defined in software requirement specification and software design specification, as well as the implied requirements with respect to intended users for the application. Next is the infrastructure components, included the building software and application documentations involved in a building software. Then the system interfaces with other systems with which it works, including the operating system, browsers, and database. Interface requirements are defined in requirement statements and achieve the design. One single test plan can be prepared to cover all phases and all teams, or there can be a separate plans for each phase or for each type testing. There needs to be plans for unit testing, integration testing, performance testing and acceptance testing, so all they can all be part of single plan or could be covered by multiple plans. In situations conditions where there are multiple test plans, there should be one test plan which covers the activities common for all plans. This is called as the master test plan. For testing scope management test, the following factors drive the choice and prioritization of features to be tested. The first is features that is new and critical for the release. The new features of a release set the expectations of the customers, users, and must perform properly. These new features result in a new program code and thus have a higher susceptibility and exposure to defects. It makes sense to put these features on top of the priority list to be tested. This will ensure that these key features get enough planning and learning time for testing. To get these prioritizations right, the product marketing teams and some select the customers participants in identifications of the features to be tested. Number second, features whose failure can be disastrous. Any features that produce adverse business impact have to be high on the list of features to be tested. For example, recovery mechanisms in a database will always have to be among the most important features to be tested. Next is features that are expected to be complex test. Now starting the work on these features early and line up appropriate resources in time. Next is deciding test approach or strategy. The test approach strategy should result in identifying the right type of test for each of the features. Once we have priorities features list, the next step is to what needs to be tested to enable estimations of size, effort and schedule. This include identifying are any special tools to be used and what are they? Then, will the tool require special training? Then what matrix will be collected? Then which level is each matrix to be collected at and how is configurations management to be handled? How many different configurations will be tested? Hardware, software and combinations of hardware, software and other vendor packages. Then, if this is master test plan, the overall project testing approach and coverage requirements must also be identified. Then specify if there are special requirements for the testing and only the full components will be tested. A specified segment of grouping of features or components must be tested together. Other information that may be useful in setting the approach up. Then next is the mean time between the failure, that's called as the MTBF, and if this is a valid measurement for the test involved, and if next is the atom pass or fail criteria for testing. The atom pass or fail criteria defines as a set of criteria based on which a test case is pass or fail. Test items are things we intended to test within the scope of the test plan. What are the completion criteria for this plan? This is a critical aspect of any test plan and should be appropriate to the level of the plan. And first is at the unit test level, this could be items such as then all test case completed. Third is a specified percentage of cases completed with a percentage containing some number of minor defects. Then fourth, the code coverage could indicates all code covered. Then fifth, at the master test plan level, this could be items such. Then number 6, all lower level plans completed. Number 7 is a specified number of plans completed without errors and a percentage with a minor defect. This could be an individual test case level criterion or a unit level plan, or it can be general functional requirements for higher level plan. What is the numbers and the severity of the defect located? Then it is possible to compare this is to the total number of defects. This may be impossible as some defects are never detected. Then a defect is something that may be cause of failure and may be acceptable to leave in the application. And number third, a failure is the result of a defect as seen by the user and the system crashes, etc. The next is the setting of criteria for testing. The test strategies for the various features and the combinations determine how these features and combinations would be tested. Ideally, tests must be run as early as possible so that the last minute pressure of running tests after development daily is minimized. Then, some of the typical suspension criteria include the encountering more than a certain number of defects. Next is identifying responsibility. A testing project requires the different people to play the different roles. Responsibilities identify the groups responsible for managing, designing, preparing, executing, checking, and resolving test activity. Quality plan explains the responsibilities of individuals involved in the quality assurance or control process. The responsibilities define who is responsible for what activity at each stage of development. Some responsibilities tasks are given. The first is identify the groups responsible for designing, preparing, executing, checking, managing, and so on. Next is identify the groups responsible for providing the test items. Number third, identify the groups responsible for providing the environment needs. The development team leader will be responsible for the verification and acceptance of all unit test plans and documentation. The project manager test manager is responsible for all test plans and documentation. The entire project teams will participate in the review of the system and detail the design as well as the review of any change requests that are generated by the users or as a result of defect discovered during the development and testing. The sales administration staff is also required to participate in the initial. Thank you.